Students, my name is Sabina and from today onwards I'll be carrying on with your online English classes. First name is as already taught you last two modules of the lesson, Hanuman and I. Now I'll be carrying on with the rest of the lesson. Let's see what you will learn by the end of this session. You will be able to comprehend the story. You will learn vocabulary related to stage performance and also you will become familiar with indefinite pronouns. Let me see whether you have revised the lesson, revised your last two modules. I'm going to ask you a few questions. First one is, why was the speaker overwhelmed? Second question is, what went wrong when the teacher prompted? Third question is, what role did the speaker play? If you are able to answer these questions, you have learned well, you have revised your lessons. If not, revise it repeatedly. And now let's move on to the lesson. I was feeling less nervous now and said my lines well. I showed Rama's ring to Sita to convince her that I was Rama's messenger. Sita said some beautiful lines about Rama's greatness and how much she missed him. She hid her face in her hands and began to weep. Suddenly, I realized that the teacher was prompting while Sita kept sobbing. Since Sita was not saying anything, I decided that it was my turn to speak. My beauty is my bane, I said grandly. It is because of my beauty that the wicked Ravana wants to marry me. What? Said Sita, looking up startled. Not you, you silly girl, hissed my teacher. Not you, you silly girl, I repeated what the teacher said. Seeing the startled expressions of the whole cast, I bit my tongue, realizing my mistake too late. So, it's a very humorous part. Our speaker is doing all mistakes on the stage. Actually, Sita was to speak up the lines, my beauty is my bane, but she thought as Sita was weeping, she was crying. See, we have come across two words, weep and sob. It is something related to crying, weeping and sobbing, two types of crying. So when Sita began to weep and she was not saying the dialogue, our speaker thought that it was her turn to say the dialogue. She said the dialogue what Sita was supposed to say. Everyone was shocked. They were all startled. And again, when the teacher started scolding her, teacher scolded her, not you, you silly girl. It was Sita's turn. She thought that it is a dialogue, and again she repeated the same thing what the teacher said. So everyone was startled. The whole cast was startled. Whole cast means those who are acting in the drama. And she bit her tongue. Bit my tongue means stopped saying, but it was too late. She had already told the dialogue in front of the audience. Now let's continue. Just then, everyone on stage began shouting, Maharaja is coming! Ravana the Great is here! I was struck dumb by the huge figure in 6-inch heels whom I hadn't known about until then. Bearing down on me with a shining sword in hand, he said in a thunderous voice that made me tremble, Who is this puny creature who dares to intrude into my kingdom? I was supposed to answer in a proud voice that I was the son of Pavandev, the wind god, the worshipper of Rama, the immortal Hanuman. But Ravana was towering over me. He raised his sword and I screamed in terror. Don't kill me, I am not Hanuman. I pulled off my mask as I spoke. By now, the audience was rolling with laughter. The sound of laughter became louder when an infuriated teacher came on stage and unceremoniously dragged me away. So, there are a few new words here. Struck dumb, which means she was speechless by fear or surprise. She could not say anything. And next one is bearing down on me. Come in a threatening way as if to kill her. That is bearing down on me. Intrude means to go somewhere where you're not permitted. And Immortal means living forever. And infuriated means very angry. And unceremoniously means in a rough manner. So these are the new words that you come across in this paragraphs. Now let's see what is happening in this paragraphs. In this paragraphs, in the new scene, Ravana with his 10 heads was coming towards our little girl who is acting as Hanuman, and he was Ravana was screaming that he was going to kill her, Hanuman. She forgot that she was acting in a drama, and she removed her mask and she was screaming in terror, I'm not Hanuman, don't kill me, I'm a little girl. She was telling like that. By now, all the audience was laughing. They were filled with laughter at this sight. And so an angry teacher came to the stage and dragged her away, the little girl. Wasn't it a funny one? It was a humorous text, like it is written in a very wonderful manner. We enjoy reading it. So now let's move to the self-check questions. Let's see what you have understood. Why did the speaker bite her lips? Next question is, why was she struck dumb? And third question is, who is this puny creature who dares to intrude into my kingdom? Whose dialogue was this? Try answering these questions. If you are able to answer this, you have comprehended the text. Now, read the text again. If you are not able to answer the questions, read the text again and again. Now, let's have a short summary of these paragraphs. The speaker was gaining confidence. She was now acting her part almost well. But as the teacher prompted and the other character on the stage did not start speaking, the speaker thought that it was her turn now. She uttered the dialogue which was meant for the other character, Sita. When the teacher scolded her, she repeated that too, mistaking it to be another dialogue. She suddenly stopped it, realizing her mistake. In the next scene on the stage, the character Ravana was coming with a shiny sword in his hand and said the dialogue in a thundering voice. Our speaker was terrified and she removed her mask and screamed that she was not Hanuman and not to kill her. At this, the audience burst into laughter. An angry teacher dragged the speaker out of the stage. So this is a short summary of what we learned. Now let's see the new words in this. Wings, the area from where performers enter the stage. For example, the director prompted the dialogues to the actor from the wings. Bane, cause of great trouble. His manager was the bane of his career. Next one is bit my tongue, stop myself from saying something. I wanted to say what I feel about her, but I bit my tongue. Infuriated, very angry. I wanted to say what I feel about her, but I bit my tongue. So these are the new words, and you have many other new words, and it's given in the glossary of your textbook, the new words and its meanings. Just go through it. Next one, we are learning about indefinite pronouns. Let's see what is indefinite pronouns. A pronoun that refers to a person or thing without being specific. For example, I have eaten everything in my fridge. Everything is the indefinite pronoun there. It does not say about a particular thing, but everything, all the things. And next one is I have nothing for breakfast. Nothing is also, it's not a specific thing, but it says altogether there is nothing, no more things are there. It is not about one thing, but it is many things she is telling. She does not have anything. And same like that, I need to find something. Something is also, she is not being specific. She is not telling that I need to find my pencil, I need to find my apple or something like that. She is telling I need to find something. Anything would be okay. She is okay with anything to eat actually. She is talking about eating. So for breakfast, she does not have anything. She is happy with anything. She is not specific on a particular thing. Okay. So that is indefinite pronouns. Let's see. You know why this is important? You have to understand indefinite pronouns can be either singular or plural. If you use an indefinite pronoun as a subject, then your verb must agree with it. Means if it is one person, your verb should have S in it. For example, does. If the indefinite pronoun is plural, it should not have a does. It will be do. It should not have an S. It will be do. That is it. See, each thinks about the story. Each is a singular indefinite pronoun. So the verb has S with it. See, the verb has got S with it. Singular verb. Okay. Singular verbs will always have S with it. So how can we determine which indefinite pronouns are singular and which are plural? Unfortunately, for most, you can't. You will not be able to identify like that. So you have to memorize them. You have to learn it by heart. So let's see. See, these are the singular indefinite pronouns. Somebody, anybody, nobody, everybody. So somebody, anybody, nobody, everybody. These are indefinite pronouns. Now someone, anyone, no one, everyone. Someone, anyone, no one, everyone. Say something, anything, nothing, everything. Something, anything, nothing, everything. So these are the singular indefinite pronouns, and also one, neither, each, another, much, either. These are all singular indefinite pronouns. You have to learn this by heart. Singular indefinite pronouns. Now these are the plural indefinite pronouns. It's easy. It's only very few. Both, few, many, others, several. So you learn these. You remember these letters. B, F, M, O, S. Okay. So remember that. B for both, F for few, M for many, O for others, and S for several. These are the plural indefinite pronouns. Plural indefinite pronouns are very less. So it's easy to learn. But you have to learn the other one also by heart. See, again, this is singular and plural indefinite pronouns. Learn it. Now, this is your follow-up activity. This is in your textbook. If you have your textbook, write it in your textbook and send me a photo through WhatsApp personally to me. Okay. This is one activity and this is another activity. You have to correct the errors in these sentences with when you're writing in the plural indefinite pronouns and singular indefinite pronouns, check how the verb will be given. So in that way you have to correct the errors of these sentences, and in the previous one you have to fill in the blanks with the indefinite pronouns that you learned today. Thank you for listening. Have a nice day. Bye.